Let's begin the morning bulletin first with the overall India data of COVID-19. Total cases have now touched 5,08,953. Death toll, sadly, 15,685 people have lost their life with COVID-19 related issues. Let's go by state. Maharashtra on top. Total cases 1,52,765. Death toll at 7,106. National capital Delhi, that has surpassed Mumbai. Total cases in Delhi 77,240 confirmed. Death toll at 2,492. In Tamil Nadu, meanwhile, total cases stand at about 74,622. Death toll in Tamil Nadu is 957. This is the data as of June 28 today at about 6:30 a.m. Now, amid the COVID pandemic, Maharashtra is the state that continues to open up slowly. Barber shops, spas, salons, gymnasiums will open up from today. The state government has issued standard operating procedure and those services will be offered with certain guidelines. Employees at barber shops, spas and salons must wear protective gear and chairs must be sanitized before and after each service. Now, this ease in restrictions in Maharashtra comes, however, amid rising number of COVID-19 cases simultaneously. For a second consecutive day, over 5,000 cases have been reported in one day. In the last 24 hours, 5,318 cases reported and 167 deaths. On June 26th, Maharashtra recorded 5,024 cases in just one day. Now, the total cases in the state close to about 1,60,000 mark. Let's take a look at Mumbai alone. The Mumbai city, over 2,000 cases being reported in one day. City of Pune also now witnessing a single-day spike with 822 cases. And from Mumbai to the city that has now taken over with the highest cases, Delhi. Delhi currently is the worst hit, and to face this challenge, Arvind Kejriwal government says they are revamping their strategy now and deciding to conduct house-to-house screening in the national capital. Take a look at this report from ground.
Delhi, India's worst affected COVID city, is now ramping up efforts to fight the virus and contain its spread. Bracing itself for the mounting challenges ahead, the Arvind Kejriwal government has revamped its strategy.
जून के पहले हफ्ते में जहां डेली 5,000 टेस्ट हो रहे थे, आज दिल्ली में 20,000 टेस्ट डेली हो रहे हैं। देश में लगभग सबसे ज्यादा टेस्ट डेली दिल्ली में हो रहे हैं। 20,000 टेस्ट डेली।
The Delhi government will begin house-to-house screening in response in containment zones from June 30th. The rapid antigen tests will also be used for screening population in the containment zones. The same strategy would be followed in the rest of the national capital from July 6th.
The National Centre for Disease Control along with Delhi government will also start a survey which will be based on antibody blood samples. These samples will be taken to figure out a citizen's past exposure to the virus which causes COVID-19.
ये एक नए तरीके का टेस्ट है। इसे हम सीरो टेस्ट बोलते हैं। सीरम से लिया जाता है, ये ब्लड से लिया जाता है। आज पूरी दिल्ली में इसकी शुरुआत हो रही है। इससे ये पता चलेगा कि आपको पहले कोरोना हो चुका है क्या। हो सकता है अभी आप ठीक हों, लेकिन पहले हो सकता है होकर ठीक हो गया हो। बहुत सारे लोगों को ये नहीं पता, तो इसको एंटीबॉडीज टेस्ट बोलते हैं या सीरम टेस्ट है ये।
This sero survey has been launched and will be covering 20,000 people across 11 districts of Delhi.
कोरोना से युद्ध में 5 हथियार तैयार किए गए। पहला हथियार, बेड्स की संख्या बढ़ाई गई। दूसरा हथियार हमारा था टेस्टिंग एंड आइसोलेशन। तीसरा हमारा हथियार था कोरोना की लड़ाई में, तीसरा हथियार है ऑक्सीमीटर्स एंड ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर्स। चौथा हथियार है आज कोरोना के इस खिलाफ युद्ध में प्लाज्मा थेरेपी। इसमें दिल्ली ने पूरे देश के लिए एक तरह से रास्ता दिखाया। और पांचवा हथियार है सर्वे एंड स्क्रीनिंग। आज से दिल्ली के अंदर सेरोलॉजिकल सर्वे शुरू हो रहा है। 20,000 लोगों का सेरोलॉजिकल सर्वे होगा। घर घर के अंदर जाके सेरोलॉजिकल सर्वे कर रहे हैं।
Meanwhile, Home Minister Amit Shah and Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal inspected the 10,000-bed COVID center set up at the Radha Swami Satsang Vyas Center in Chhatarpur.
With cases of COVID-19 surpassing in the national capital that of the state of Maharashtra, it's a Herculean task ahead for Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. The government has in fact started the door-to-door screening to make sure that they can contain COVID-19. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal says that his government is fully ready to tackle COVID-19 and in days to come they'll make sure that every patient is treated and is recovered as soon as possible. This is Aishwarya Paliwal reporting for India Today with camera person Pradeep Gupta.
Now, another state that is reporting a spike is Tamil Nadu, recording biggest single-day spike with 3,713 cases coming to fore just on Saturday. Now, this takes the count of total cases in Tamil Nadu to over 70,000 confirmed cases. With 68 fresh deaths also reported, Tamil Nadu's death toll now is close to the 1,000 mark. Chennai city accounting for more than 50% of state's new cases. The city registered 1,939 new cases yesterday. Cases in Tamil Nadu continue to surge even as Chennai and 4 other districts, Kanchipuram, Chengalpattu, Thiruvallavur and Madurai are under lockdown till 30th June. India has touched another grim milestone with COVID-19 cases in the nation crossing the 5 lakh mark. US, Brazil and Russia are the only countries to have more cases than India. Now, the government says that they feel that India is still much better placed when compared to other nations, citing improved recovery rate and low death rate as well. Opposition Congress Party, however, not buying any of it, seeking to corner the union government, questioning its handling of the crisis. Take a look at this report.
It has been an unprecedented crisis that wreaked havoc across the world, and India is no exception. COVID-19 cases in India crossed the 5 lakh mark on Saturday after it registered the biggest single-day spike at 18,552 cases. While it took 107 days for India to touch the 1 lakh mark, the rise since then has been very fast. India took just 6 days to go from 4 lakh to 5 lakh cases. India is now on the 4th spot in the list of worst hit nations in terms of cases, with just United States, Brazil and Russia above it. The virus march has covered almost the entire nation. Maharashtra, Delhi, Tamil Nadu and Gujarat are the worst hit states. More than half the districts of the country have recorded COVID deaths. 70% of the deaths are in 10 districts. States in the northeastern region have so far seen relatively lower caseload. The government has so far denied community transmission and believes India has fared better than many other nations in controlling the spread of the disease.
Some people have predicted that the impact of the virus in India would be very, very severe. But due to lockdown and many initiatives taken by the government, as well as a people-driven fight, India is much better placed than many other nations.
Goa meanwhile conceded it has entered community transmission stage.
हे पळय आमकां पुराय गोंयांत वेगवेगळे कडेन केसीस मेळपाक लागल्या. आतां हें ट्रान्समिशन जें आसा पळय न्हू तशें आतां एट प्रेझेंट जेन्ना सगळ्या गोंयांत ट्रान्समिशन जालां तेन्ना हें ट्रान्समिशन एका पेशंटा कडल्यान दुसऱ्या कडेन ट्रान्समिशन जाल्लें आसा. असो न्ही की ऑफकोर्स आमकां म्हणचें पडटलें की हें कम्युनिटी ट्रान्समिशन आसा म्हणून हें आमकां मान्य करचें पडटलें.
The government says the low mortality rate points to effective handling of the crisis.
हमारा रिकवरी रेट 58% से भी ऊपर हो गया है। इसमें से लगभग 3 लाख मरीज ठीक होकर घर वापस चले गए हैं। दुनिया में अभी भी जो मोर्टालिटी फैटालिटी रेट है वो 3% के करीब है, जो सबसे कम है। लॉकडाउन के पहले जो डबलिंग रेट 3 दिन के करीब था, आज वो डबलिंग रेट 19 दिन के आसपास है।
The opposition, however, is not convinced. In a fresh salvo, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi said that the Modi government has surrendered to the virus. India is yet to hit the peak. So far, there is no hint of when that will be. Many mathematical projections made have all fallen flat. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, amid the ongoing outrage over Tamil Nadu's custodial deaths, another incident of alleged police brutality has come to light from Karnataka's Bijapur district. A 19-year-old boy identified as Sagar Chalavari has died after allegedly being lathi-charged by the police. Now, according to family's account, Sagar went to drop off his sister at the SSLC exam center when he was thrashed by cops who suspected him to be involved in malpractice. Sagar's family claims he was chased by the cops, after which he had a heart attack and collapsed. However, Bijapur SP, who later visited the spot, denied any of the allegations of physical assault.
ನಾವು ಅಡ್ಡಾಗಿತ್ತು. ನನ್ನ ಮಗಳ ತಂಗಿನ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದ. ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಮುಂಜಾನೆ ನಾಷ್ಟ ಮಾಡಿ ತಂಗಿನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದ, ಮತ್ತು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಹೊಡೆದಾನ. ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಸತ್ತಾನ. ಪೊಲೀಸರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಹೆಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕ್ಷಿನೇ ಅದಲ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಮೊದಲೇ ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನು ಡೌಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ದಟ್ ಪೊಲೀಸರು ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಆಯಿತು. ಬಟ್ ಅವರು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಮತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಥಳದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಈಗ ಅವ್ರು ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಏಟಿಂದ ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನು ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವನು ಈ ಮೆಟ್ಟಿದ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆವಾಗ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಡೆತ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
The outrage over Tamil Nadu custodial death is only snowballing. From celebrities to politicians, all are voicing their anger against state police and government, seeking justice for the duo. Now this, as the prison hospital report confirms brutality in custody and states that there were multiple injury marks on their body. But what's even more surprising is that there's still no FIR that has been filed in the case. Take a look at this report that we continue to track on India Today.
Days after the alleged custodial death of a father and son duo in Tamil Nadu's Thoothukudi, the jail hospital has confirmed torture. The report on Benix and Jairaj deaths submitted by the jail hospital says there were multiple injury marks in the gluteal region or around the rectum. The doctor also mentions their kneecap were pressed.
அப்புறமா நான் தெரிஞ்சு அங்கங்கே தெரிஞ்சு தான் போய் பார்த்தா அதுக்குள்ளே போலீஸ் ஸ்டேஷனை பூட்டி போட்டு என் பிள்ளையெல்லாம் போட்டு அடிச்சு நடந்தது இல்லை. அடின்னு அடிச்சிருக்காங்க. என் பிள்ளை அலறு அம்மா அம்மான்னு அலறு சத்தம் அந்த தெரு பிள்ளை கேட்டிருக்கு. அவ்வளோ அலறு
போனால் அப்பாவை அடித்த உடனே இவன் கொஞ்சம் அப்பாவை அடிக்கும்போது அவனே கொஞ்சம் எமோஷனல் ஆகிட்டான். இவனும் உள்ளே போயிட்டான். அப்பா போலீஸை தடுத்துருக்கான். உடனே 2 பேரையும் கதவை பூட்டிட்டு அடிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. அவன் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் உள்ளே போயிருக்கானுங்க. எல்லாரையும் வெளியே துரத்திட்டாங்க. எல்லாரும் வெளியே நின்றுருக்காங்க.
அப்போ ஜன்னல் அந்த கதவு வழியாக எடுக்கல பார்க்கும்போது என்ன செய்றாங்க, போலீஸ் வாலண்டியர்ஸை வந்து கால் மேலே ஏறி நிப்பாட்டி விட்டு பாதத்தில் அடிக்காங்க. அந்த பையனை பரிசை வந்து செவுத்தோடு சேர்த்து வச்சு பின்னால் அடிக்காங்க. இது அடிக்கும் போது அவங்க கதறாங்க. சொந்தக்காரெலாம் வந்துட்டாங்க. ஐயா நல்லா போய் விட்டுருங்க, நாங்கள் வேணா அவரை ஆஸ்பத்திரியில் பார்த்துன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. அதனால அவங்க விடலை.
The latest medical report has fanned outrage across the state. Leading the charge, DMK President M.K. Stalin has said if the state government fails to conduct a proper investigation into the alleged custodial deaths, his party would approach the court seeking a CBI probe. Party MP from Thoothukudi, Kanimuri, has questioned why no arrests have been made so far.
What is very worrisome is the fact that the culprits are yet to be booked. Yes, they are yet to be booked for any offence of murder. the Tamil Nadu government is shielding the culprits.
They are doing a media trial on their own, and they are preparing their own post-mortem narrative. They are preparing their own agendas, how this has to be inflicted into the minds of the people to make it as a political momentum. While the CM is pretty much clear that justice has to be rendered to the aggrieved family who had lost the breadwinners.
Many celebrities, including Vishal and actor-politician Khushbu Sundar, have voiced their anger on Twitter. Chief Minister Edeppadi Palanisamy has promised a detailed probe. The Madras High Court has already directed the Thoothukudi Chief Magistrate to conduct an inquiry and submit a report.
Opposition party has said that if necessary action is not taken, then they will approach the CBI for investigation. Well, the story has got all the necessary political attention, but the bigger question is, will Jairaj and Benix be forgotten soon after the camera lenses focus on another story, or will the family get the desired justice? With camera person Daniel from Chennai, this is Akshay Nath for India Today.
And Congress leader Ahmed Patel has hit out at the central government and enforcement directorate after he was questioned for over 8 hours in the 14,500 crore rupees Sterling Biotech bank loan fraud case. In a statement, Ahmed Patel has said investigative agencies become active only during elections on instructions of one individual. He added, Modi government has failed to manage economic, health and national security crisis, and the agencies cannot help spin the narrative this time. Taking on the union government, Patel has said, rather than fight the pandemic and China, Modi government is more keen to fight the opposition. Ahmed Patel will also be questioned again on 30th June in the case involving Sandesra brothers.
कानून को कानून का काम करने दो। जब हमने कुछ गलत नहीं किया है तो डरने की कोई बात नहीं है। जितनी भी इंक्वायरी करें, जितनी भी जांच करें, उनको कर लेने दो। लेकिन मैं इतना कहना चाहूँगा कि जिनके खुद के घर शीशे के होते हैं, कांच के होते हैं, उनको जरा उतना भी ख्याल करना चाहिए कि कोई हमारे घरों पर भी पत्थर फेंक सकता है। धन्यवाद।
Over Rajiv Gandhi Foundation also gets bigger by each day. Now in a fresh attack, Bharatiya Janata Party JP Nadda posed 10 questions to the Congress party and Gandhi family seeking an explanation for their alleged China link. This as Congress accuses BJP of diverting attention from the border issues. Take a look at this developing report.
The BJP and Congress cross swords once again. The Saffron Party has gone after the Gandhis, alleging a China link even as tensions at the line of actual control prevail. BJP President JP Nadda, who has been posting tweets over the last few days, took the microphone on Saturday to pose 10 questions to the Congress over the funding of Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. Nadda asked why the foundation headed by Sonia Gandhi accepted money from China. He alleged the increase in trade deficit with China was quid pro quo for donations for the foundation.
भारत का चाइना के साथ डेफिसिट ट्रेड 2003 में जो 2004 में 1.1 बिलियन था, वह बढ़कर के 2013-14 में 36.2 बिलियन हो गया. And this was a deep crisis and weakening of the Indian economy done during the UPA regime.
The BJP president further accused the Congress party of taking donations from big corporate houses and rewarding them with hefty contracts.
लोगों के लिए गरीबी का नारा लगाते रहे. The rhetoric was about poor people. गरीबी के बारे में बोलते रहे, लेकिन कॉर्पोरेट्स के साथ बड़े डोनेशंस लिए गए और बड़े डोनेशंस के जगह पर हेफ्टी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स दिए गए और यह था क्विड प्रो को.
The ruling party also lashed out at the Gandhis over donations from Punjab National Bank fraud, accused Mehul Choksi to the foundation.
Mehul Choksi से आपने राजीव गांधी फाउंडेशन में पैसा क्यों लिया और आपने मेहुल चौकसी को लोन क्यों दिया और ये सब करने के बाद बदनाम करने के लिए हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री पर आरोप लगाते हो.
The Congress has hit back, accusing the BJP of diverting attention from the border tension.
आज लोग त्राहिमाम कर रहे हैं पेट्रोल और डीजल पे. आज चीन हमारे घर में घुसा बैठा है, आपसे सवाल पूछा जाता है तो देशद्रोही हो जाता है, आप फर्जी राष्ट्रवाद का पाठ पढ़ाने लगते हैं। आप ये नहीं बताते कि डेप्सांग में 15 किलोमीटर चीन की सेना अंदर आ गई है।
While military and diplomatic efforts continue to diffuse tensions at the line of actual control, the domestic politics over India-China relations is only escalating. Both BJP and Congress are pointing fingers at each other for cozying up to China. Bureau Report, India Today.
Welcome back now for some sports news. 20-men Pakistan squad will depart for England for the 3-match test and T20 series. All the 20 players were tested twice and have returned negative. Squad will again undergo a COVID test on their arrival in England. Pakistan team will then enter a 2-week quarantine period at Blackfinch New Road, Worcester. 6 out of 10 Pakistan cricketers testing positive returned negative in retest but will not be travelling. The players will be allowed to travel only if they test negative twice. The tour is expected to kick-start in the first week of August. All right, that's all for now. For further news and updates, please log on to indiatoday.in. You can also download the app on your phones as well. Stay home, stay safe. I'll return soon. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.